我刚刚去厕所。中午吃拉面加太多辣椒，屁股烫烫。就是学不乖，很骚。
鸡鸡跳的，
鸡鸡。OK， 好，对，我想起来了，牧师的任务。先去解这个好了。长相奇特的狗狗。 刚刚的掠夺者头目是死哪去了？重甲潜入技能减5。开锁器。
Easy。
还要有个等离子枪。哇，我身上好重。单发伤害52到118。
Hey, that's impressive.
哪里？电震加农炮，单发伤害34，是等离子步枪太高吗？秒伤，它秒伤比较低，所以。靠背哦。
That one had a little more flavor. Very good.
哇！
Here we go. Everyone all right?
舒服，这就是我要的游戏体验。超负荷，太空人之选，赞赏你，比起个人脊椎健康，优先考虑公司利益的行为。没错，就是囤积症。狩猎步枪是什么？单发伤害66。藏到河边的一个山洞里了。
WTF?
Hey boy, pump it up. Hey yo, pump it up. Hey boy, pump it up. Hey boy, beep beep pop.
What the？ 做成这个样子，反而让人想玩玩看。他为什么发那种奇怪的声音？ 嘣！直接被分解。对，这个准度根本乱七八糟，乱准一把的。希望不要遇到什么奇怪的野生生物或是原住民。
Nice.
拿到日志了。
And your rations yet?
Yep.
You think corporate's ever gonna visit?
Any progress on that matter we discussed? Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... Wait. What the fuck is this? Is this French? I can't fucking read French. It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French. Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan, while fighting it at every turn. Well, yes. But I assure you, it was not for personal gain, only for the greater good. I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped this book held some of those answers. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering I've spent. Wasted. Please. As if my life should have no greater meaning than proselytizing to a bunch of
牧师
feeble-minded wretches.
你长子的发言没问题
Nothing
吗？
could be more excruciating than discussing the true nature of reality with people who have no interest beyond their next.
牧师，你刚刚不小心把真心话全部都讲出
But
来
that's
了。
neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure transport. You have a ship. Perhaps I could make myself of use to your crew.
真棒！
Certainly. I already gave you most of my money, but I can offer you free spiritual counseling, and I'd be happy to watch your back. I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument, really. I'm also a passable gun hand if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict. Oh, I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well.
Close the door, been a long time, a year before, and I'm missing you so bad. Gone away a month or more, every show I go before, need to hear that voice, cause right now feels like it's been too long.
Gender reveal gone wrong.
Wait, what does yellow mean?
靠背哦！我也是个 hacker， 这些都是你为了当牧师要做的训练吗？
Well, understanding computers is, though I admit I took it further than most. And I was quite the 32nd back during my seminary days. Left many an opponent bleeding on the field.
救命！
Of course, I'm a vicar who is dedicated to his calling. More dedicated than any other you'll find in this colony. I joined the OSI to help decipher the grand plan. But instead, I ended up the vicar in a prison due to ignorance and politics. Then I came here. Satisfied? It's the journal of one of the originators of the Philosopher's School of Thought, though it would be more than a century before it was perverted into that belief system. Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of that came later. Bakonu had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Most laypeople are not aware of this, but we've not discovered any new insights into the plan for a long, long time. I had an idea that we should welcome the truth, no matter where we found it. I had the worse idea to share my thoughts with a superior. And that's the long and short of it. So, what do you think? Fantastic. Let me get my things in order and I'll catch up with you.
Edgewater's gonna miss you. Folk here always had good things to say about their vicar.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb. I'll be glad for the change of scenery, and to leave this place behind. I shall see you on the ship, Captain, whenever you're ready to leave Emerald Vale.
哇，升级啦！哈，每次升旗天啊，不是列宁子，我为什么要捏张子的角色？真的越看越惊悚。哈，每次升级只有10点可以用，真的嫌太少啊！真是。前行状态下可以偷窃人类目标，来。 驼兽驮起来。打好关系的话，售价还会降低，注意啦。
I'll meet you on the ship when you're ready to depart from Emerald Vale, Captain.
啊。当时这里的任务我好像不小心跳了，变成说我没有去传话，这个有点麻烦。因为我当时没有要解任务，但是我乱晃到了发电厂，然后去乱动的东西，救命！OK， 好，这样子的话，我应该还是可以先去传话了。不知道补救不补救的回来。有了，植物实验室。
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along. Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those. Yeah, that's us. And you can tell Thompson we're doing just fine by ourselves. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you. Over in the hothouse, tending crop. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind. Explains why you're still yammering on at me. No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her. It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere.
第一句话也太靠背了吧
Could do without the gallows humor. I'll tell you what I can. Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already. Little ways ago, she was always obsessing over her serial dramas. Wanted to see what the
哇，
fuss
我
was
对这个人
about.
我有印象。
Could be. Dangers aplenty out there. No telling why marauders would steal somebody like Zoe. Got no useful skill as far as I could tell.
没有什么有用的技能，但是有很多有用的器官。
Marauder gang just moved into the districts a little ways east. Their numbers are growing. Gotta come from somewhere. Well, enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does. She was lazy and thoughtless, but she's still one of our own. What is it?
OK， 那我们看看，我们要先来志同道合，先解其他的一些支线，先去实验室找人好了，先去实验室找这边的头头。温室来了。
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear? I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
我宁愿你不要告诉我这个情报。
No, dear. The garden belongs to us all. Life is the gift of the universe, and the universe yields its bounty equally, absent of prejudice. Ah, cynicism. The privilege of the young. What you need is a little taste of my special mushroom soup. It'll broaden your mind. Or at least your irises.
哇靠，这汤很纯哦。
A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots. It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject. Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then? I can't say I blame you. Reed is positively soporific. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do. You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scrap Spacer's Choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them. It's not much of a living. Every single person in that town has sold themselves to Spacer's Choice. The company owns them. Body, blood, and bones. You've been there. You've seen it. All anyone ever does is toil over a cannery. They give their lives for some heartless corporation, and then they're tossed into a Spacer's Choice brand cemetery. So, what do you say? Divert power over to us. Shut down that abominable cannery for good. I trust you will listen to your conscience.
我记得当时其实玩到这里，后来有点不太爽，就是现在就要我做这种2选1，好烦。虽然说那个工厂那边的行事风格的确是蛮烂的，没错。但是你要我在这里要选一啊，妈的，我扮黑脸是不是啊？所以这里就算我之后过来了啊，他还是打叉叉。只要我还没有做任何事情，先跑进地热发电厂，这里就会被打叉叉掉。好，先解支线。快点，鸡，把你知道的一切都告诉我，乖乖讲出来。他刚刚是讲的乖乖吗？救命！
You hungry? We got canid ribs, canid flank, canid snout.
只有钱怪嘛
Something I can help you with? Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
“开玩笑，当然先把垃圾全部都扔给你啊！”妈的，这些东西居然是有重量的、啊！武器改造模组是有重量的、啊。钢铁直男枪管不是钢铁直枪管，我靠，我的眼睛肯定业上重。 那这个重量15，就你在那边重， 击步枪，逃亡者手枪。
Something I can... Fresh... You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off. Zoe and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found. You sound like some type of corporate fixer asking all these questions. Zoe was always obsessed with this serial. Masked Marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder companions the wisdom of free market economics. Shame she up and vanished when she did. I had a surprise lined up for her. The other day, I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was gonna surprise Zoe with it, but she was gone the next day. Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd. Hey, I got time. I'll help if I can.
Zoe 的日记第18页。靠北。What the fuck?一大帮狂野又无拘无束的强盗生活在山上的营地里，靠枪口火焰帮自己保暖，或许会把敌人的头颅钉在长钉上，以警告像我这样子的人。生活舒适又安逸，没有任何的框架。我敢打赌，如果能组织起来，他们可以拿下整个地区。这个是不是就是那一种会跑去投靠 ISIS， 结果被沦为性奴的神经病女人？ 然后距离这里才300公尺，会不会太近了一点？
Keep your wits about you, friend.
夹。
What is it? I'll tell you what I can. What is it?
我刚刚又打队友了，笑死！自己人，好险，这里面似乎没有友军伤害。好像拿到了不错的东西哦。 能量头盔16，吼吼吼吼吼吼吼吼！
You got him.
"这把枪好准呐、 这把枪完全不会飘的。你不要突然进我的视线范围。
Here they come! Got him! Mess with us! I don't know anybody who ever came out this far. Easy.
Something there.
Stand and deliver! No encore? Wow, you crossed them all off, like some sort of heroic accountant running down a list. Teach me your ways. What? You mean Adelaide's little congregation of nature-loving nobodies? I could not possibly be less interested in them. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen. I'm great at clarifying. No. I insinuated myself into their company, see? And they didn't seem to mind one whit. I may have bartered them a few boxes of Adrena time, but yeah, I'm sure that's got nothing to do with it. I don't know. The vital processes that constitute the miracle of life are mysterious and unknowable. Oh, you mean around these guys? The Marauders wouldn't hurt me. They love me. I'm practically their queen. Yeah, must be my natural charisma. I got kicked out of Edgewater on account of falling sick with plague and stealing some medicine to treat myself. I'd heard some outlaws set up camp in the botanical labs. I decided to throw in with them, seeing as I always wanted to be an outlaw myself. Instead, what do I find? But a bunch of former workers camped out around a greenhouse. I couldn't just go back to the cannery, so I was stuck with them. I've got all the time in Halcyon. Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong. I doubt that. Nobody in that camp really cared about me. Wait, you're telling me he's got a copy of the Mass Marketeer? Why didn't you say so? I'll take my stuff and...
靠背啊，追剧力量大。
Grace is going to be glaring knives at me, so I've got that to look forward to.
结果追剧大于一切，知道了。
Wish I could do that.
干，今天那个三宝的事情不要再讲了，干他妈的！这么长一段路可以从头逆向到尾，然后逆向给我跨双黄线，然后跑去高架桥上，真的是妈走出去死一死！驾照是怎么考到的？还在那边怪导航，导你妈的鸡巴毛啦！干是怎样？他妈的，全车都一直在聊天讲话，他妈的根本没有好好开吧？啊，车上居然还不是一个人，是4个人，你们4个人全部都是脑瘫吗？我他妈！我看到车上有4个人的时候都傻了，干你们4个人全都是智障是不是？
What is it? We didn't always get along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. What happened, anyway? You pretty much did my job for me. Least I could do is pay you for your trouble. Let me know if I can do something for you.
你的一件武器或防具已经损坏。之前穿掠夺者的防具，然后看到的人就一直在那边碎碎念。啊，不要穿成这个样子啊！
Something you need? You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vicker says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vicker sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's
很好的切入
something
点。
on a museum shelf, under glass. It just comes off cold to me, is all.
啊，刚刚对话选项第4个就是词语用法，不是很喜欢。
Zoe says she fought her way out of a marauder camp with her own bare hands. fresh off the limb.
我刚刚就在想说，这里的重点情报是要怎么获得，有点忘记了，是不是就是一台？来，实验记录。充满有机物质的天然肥料。
Home is where the heart is. Marauders took that saying a little too literally.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Keep your wits about you。萨娜是不是也常讲这一句话？
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
Oh, didn't see you there. I was just occupying myself with a little engineering. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi. Hello.
Are you, are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no. I'm just along with this lady here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town. Well, what I meant was you're reasonably well armed and don't look stricken with plague. Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair. I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged. I wish I knew. I wager the town had the full set once upon a time. Where the third's gone, I can't say. Would you? I'd be grateful. What's on your mind? Luck, mostly. Nothing's needed serious repairing yet. Nothing's broken down that we can't just replace with something scavenged from the outskirts. Oh, I can swap out a water filter or charge up a battery and go on pretending I know what I'm doing, but the moment I'm asked to do any real engineering, I'm in trouble. Couple months. This camp's my home. People you see milling about, they're my family. At least I think of them that way. I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness if they hadn't chanced upon me, starving and delirious. We all left the cannery for one reason or another.
越来越想要把罐头工厂搞
I
翻
was
了。
let go, mostly on account of my incompetence. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in, I've been on my feet ever since.
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here. This place had a U-shaped hole, and now it doesn't.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean, we could really use... this isn't coming out right. If you want, Adelaide would make a place for you.
Ah, 肚子又痛痛了，我去一下厕所。啊！ 也是我回来了，屁股烫烫的，救命！龙袭的方向有点不太对，靠别！手上的枪是不是偷来的？捡来的吧？等离子步枪，而且我手上有2把书。他说你拿到的应该是另外一把。
27，我现在除了玩阿尔宙斯以外，什么都不想做。
哼，这么好玩，是不是一天到晚在拍照？我还没发售。开玩笑，虽然说没必要，但是我还是要去找第3册的啊，不然我的强迫症怎么受得了？啊，第3册在里面哦，干！哎呦，怎么？哦，麻烦死了！我怎么又需要回来啊？哦，怎么会有这种鸟地方啦？天哪！ 哎，游戏里有交代为什么第3次会在这个鸟地方。哎，等一下，我看一下。哎，对吼，之前来第2发电厂的时候有读到，然后就没有然后，我当时看看就过了，我忘了。使用电极与光谱马铃薯组装计算机器，光谱马铃薯是什么东西？晚上好，龙大，现在我有冰淇淋。
Any luck finding one of those manuals? No kidding. Really? Well, which one? Look at that. Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special, on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me. Well, don't keep me in suspense. Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I might have found this myself. 2 whole data pads? Be still my beating heart. Oh, almost forgot your payment. Well, don't keep me in suspense. The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible! You really went exploring down there? Adelaide always told us it was swarming with hostile mechanicals. That's a complete set. All 3 parts. I'm gonna be the greatest engineer Halcyon's ever seen. Aside from you, Ms. Parvati, I swear. I'll do you proud.
I'm glad we could help, Thomas.
I've been saving something for you. Just a little contraption I found. Should fit right into your outfit. What's on your mind?
哇哦！这系列经验值给不少呢，居然直接升1级了。 我觉得目前开了新的消耗品，好像没有特别管用。我现在可以使用强化了。对。是说阿嬷跑哪去了？
Anything else I can do for you? That's not strange at all, dear. Few of us truly know where we are. The world can seem like a forest without end, and it is all too easy to lose one's way. But we must remember that being lost is the first step in discovering yourself. This is the old botanical lab, in Emerald Vale, on Terra 2. By the look on your face, I'm guessing you're not quite following me. Are you not feeling well? Ought to lay your head down if you're running fever. That sounds like fever talk, all right. So why am I tempted to believe you? Where did you say you were from? I could do without the mockery. If you don't want to tell me where you're from, that's fine by me. Is that a new settlement of some kind? I haven't kept news from outside the Vale. Oh, you're talking about that old piece of folklore. Now I'm convinced you're delirious. You really ought to lay your head down, dear. Babbling only agitates the humors. You ought to try some of my purgative tea.
我才刚刚拉完一波阿嬷。
But it will distract you for a spell. Maybe I do. I don't know yet. Growing up,
来，我特制的清肠茶拿去早餐店大冰奶。
Always believed it was just a story we told ourselves to keep our spirits up. Listen, don't you worry about what I think. That's not important. Worry about what the board thinks of you going around talking about lost ships from decades past. No, but the board may have reason to fear you. You carry on about coming here from another world, and people will talk. Talk leads to questions. Ask enough questions, and the board comes answering. I'm listening. I am getting old, you know. These two lamps of mine are not as bright as they once were. Or I might have seen you for what you are. Remains to be seen. Might be the woman that saves the veil. Might be Reed's personal gun hand. People around here lack the strength to effect change. Or they have the strength, but not the will. You seem to have both. More of the colony felt the way you did. We'd have ourselves a proper revolution. I can't stop you from conducting your business down at the plant. I just want you to know that if you take our power away, you will have brought an end to our way of life. Not under Reed's watch. He and I would come to blows within a day, and he would never tolerate my tending to a garden. This is my home. It will be my home even if Reed cuts our power. Simple as that. That's because Reed was my boss. I was the cannery's one and only flavor specialist, you see. Remember that limited run of white chocolate saltuna? That was all me. My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear. I could not possibly care less if he does, but you're surely welcome to ask him.
所以他用来种菜的特别肥料，那个事件我是要去哪里触发来着？可恶，想不起来了。还是说我要跟镇子里面的其他人再多讲一些话，才能开得出来？
Something I can... Fresh off the...
记得有这个特殊事件，没错。哇 ，What the fuck？ 这是什么东西？好强的小枪枪哦！干！哦 shit！ 哦，是切了另外一那应该是要先切电力才会知道。啊，总之，反正我现在想要把工厂搞爆，是不是就先来吧？ 当时在切电力之前就知道了吗？还有特殊对话？因为我印象中就是好像有什么特别的选项。我现在在问的东西是我确定我当时已经经历过了，只是我不太记得是要怎么触发。因为如果是直接去切电源，我怕我会漏掉一些东西。我现在回罐头工厂里面，能跟那个人，能跟李德再讲讲话吗？
Almost lost a finger in the cannery today.
At least you got your health.
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
Heard Marauders got in.
Just between us, Wilson deserted. Lost his nerve. Ran off in the thick of night.
You're kidding me. Damn. Always thought he was made of sterner stuff.
I think he was plagued. Guess he didn't want to die in the sick house.
Plagued? Ah, shit. I had some of his salt tuna.
You moron.
你个傻包！
If you could see your way to getting us our power back, I'd appreciate it. Go ahead. Can we not? Talking about unpleasant things always gets my bile up. That I cannot say. There was no moment when the plagues began. Disease always lurks on the fringes of society, waiting to infect the idle and the lethargic. But in the last 10 years, the plagues have become progressively worse and increasingly frequent. Corporate doesn't like us using the word should. It encourages the imagination. I believe plague is a test. It is a test of our loyalty and our fortitude. And it is one we will see through to the end. Show up to work, put in your hours, wear a smile. Problems of the body come from problems of the spirit.
看这人没救。
Work improves the spirit and fortifies the body. And where do you suggest we find this magical panacea? Can we pan for medicine in the stream? Medicine is a rare and precious commodity. If you demonstrate you have earned the right to be treated, you will be treated. Otherwise, you must heal yourself. If I had enough medicine to treat everyone who fell sick, I would, but I don't. I can't save everyone. So I have to choose. Adelaide's son was barely competent. I treat him with our medical rations, and it looks like I'm playing favorites. Now, I will not pretend to understand the suffering Adelaide must have felt on account of losing her child, but she is not the only one to have felt such suffering. I wish she had stayed with us. Adelaide left us when we needed her most. Go ahead. That you are not one of us may work to your advantage. Adelaide and her folk loathed the people of Edgewater, you see. I admit the fault was mine. I'm about as diplomatic as a bristling canid. I just hope Adelaide and her folk will see their way past my flaws and return to town. Nature is uglier. There is safety here. Safety and purpose. But not all of us see that, and I cannot force that vision upon them. Yes, we have lost good workers to desertion. We have lost even more to plague. But it is why we must square our shoulders. and carry on. Losing Adelaide was the hardest. She was our only flavor specialist. When she walked away, I knew we were in trouble. Spacer's Choice Saltuna is renowned across the system for its quality flavors and additives. We used to sell citrus-flavored Saltuna in our heyday. Ever since Adelaide left, we have been reduced to selling unflavored and spearmint. Go ahead. It is my job to keep 2 eyes on my town. I am the steward of this place, and this is my watch post. This is a Spacer's Choice town. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family here. The company keeps us warm, keeps us fed, keeps us working. Loyalty's got nothing to do with it, friend. This is good old-fashioned gratitude. I'm trying to remember 25 years, 26. When you get to my age, the years just rush by. You stop counting altogether. I remember looking out this window and seeing the veils spread out from horizon to horizon. We were a sprawling town. We were booming. Times change, people change, but the veil will always be here. Spacer's Choice will always be here. Our work won't ever end. I take comfort in that. I wish you wouldn't say things like that. Yes, as a matter of fact. When I stand at my window and look out over my town, here's what I see. I see decent, loyal, hard-working people. I see a family. We are all part of the Spacer's Choice family. We are all doing what we were brought into this world to do.
I don't know what you did to talk some sense into Zoe, but I appreciate it.
哦，今天看到那一个蜂蜜柠檬哥在那边发表关于酒驾的高见，然后在那边说最好的方法就是干脆全部禁酒之类的，然后底下当然就有人在说，美国的禁酒令没有让你学到教训吗？然后就想起来当时禁酒令的时候，禁酒令那10几年期间啊，人们为了喝酒，什么五花八门的怪招都想得出来，然后不是有一间公司贩卖了一种用浓缩葡萄汁做成的葡萄汁砖，然后包装上面巨细靡遗的描述了，千万不可以把它跟等量的水混合，千万不可以加入一定分量的糖，千万不可以把它摆在阴凉潮湿的地方放到罐子里面然后定期去给它透透气如果你不遵照，如果你做了这些不该做的事情，它会变成很危险的葡萄酒，千万不可以做，这是违法的。不知道为什么这个葡萄砖卖得非常好。
I'm listening.
这么危险的东西啊，放在货架上太不应该了，让我把它买回家里面好好的销毁掉。就是因为有禁酒令，才搞出那个 El Capone。
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
Oh, 可以直接立刻切换。我还没拿啦，我今天还没有机会跑出去。糟糕，我真的是想不起来要怎么触发那个。明明记得当时在切电源之前就知道了，然后知道那件事情之后，会多添增一个，就是你要不要把这个地方关闭电力的那一个条件要去思考。奇怪是怎么触发的啊？想不起来，看。当时好像也是随便走走就撞到。可是那应该是一个蛮明显的东西啊！怎么记得是进来这里，然后在里面看到了一些奇怪的文件？我记错吗？记得应该是看到某份文件的样子。惊讶！救命！
I'm listening.
哎，结果真的是金牙。
Haven't you ever seen a novelty paperweight?
Whatever absurd accusations you have churning about in your mind, I assure you I have heard them all. I remember a Eugene. Pleasant enough boy. Whatever happened to him? Wish I could say I was surprised. That town has a way of crushing your spirit. At least his remains have returned to the soil where they belong. Except for his teeth, of course. Gold does not decompose. The teeth had to be removed. And while I am no licensed dentist, I should think I did a fair job of it. I cannot tell you how refreshing it is to converse with a rational mind. That's exactly right. Rot is necessary for life. A corpse is bursting with the nutrients a young sapling craves. The crops I grow here are natural, nutritious, healthy. My garden does more than fill the bellies of my flock. It keeps them from falling ill. The Vale's barren. Been that way for years. Soil's been sterile about as long as I can remember. All I did was follow nature's own way. Death is essential to life. When the spirit leaves the body returns to the earth from whence it came. What remains is a carcass moldering neath the soil. Decomposition is a natural process, essential to new life. All life feeds on other life.
Oh, I don't know. If it was me, I'd be glad to volunteer. Keeping others alive, that'd be a beautiful gift to leave. But none of the folk you used had a say. You didn't ask, ma'am. And what about my dad? I talk to his grave every Saturday. Is he even there?
Robert is just where you left him, dear. He died too long ago. By now, he's naught but a skeleton. Whatever you say, my dear.
啊，结果是那个金牙触发对话，我一直记成是文件。这样子的话，可以去发电厂啦。不过很有趣的是，禁酒令发布的那10年间，根据统计资料，酒精的消耗量当然大幅下降，不用说，罹患肝硬化的人数也大幅下降，连带婴幼儿死亡率也大幅下降。什么东西都还是要有个节制啦，然后像酒这种东西本来就是越禁，他妈的真的越禁人会越想喝。政府很强硬的直接全部禁酒，实在是有点太违反人性。但是在那几年内啊，不小心喝假酒喝到失明的人，还有铅中毒的人数也上升了。这倒是哦。
Once we do this, there's no going back.
所以我说啊，他妈的，主要的问题是他妈的为什么运转状态才22%功率，真的是很。
3 switches. That'll be easy enough.
不要插旗啊！请问龙大会玩 Mirror 2吗？就算会玩也没办法实况啊！救命！哦，我当时在这里面的时候已经手痒去动2个了吼！救命！什么啦吼
？Excuse me, ma'am. Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. Miss McDevitt's been using corpses in her fertilizer. The thought just makes my skin crawl. Sure, she's found a solution, but it ain't exactly pleasant. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred? Well, that sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way. Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something. Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
看看2也太过分了吧，好过分！我当时应该说过一模一样的话。我靠！等一下，聊天是在说什么？隔壁棚看到超what the fuck 的事情，大人在没知会的情况下代替我答应跟别人交往，重点是那个人我看都没看过，这是印度才会发生的事情吧？这是印度吧？
I can't stop thinking on Edgewater, Captain. I'm glad the deserters are gonna be alright now they got power, but what about the town? All those people. He's just interested in fixing stuff.
小狗狗。
He always used to follow me around, asking me to explain what I was doing. Like a puppy, kinda.
天知道他看你介绍罗丁罗姆的时候想的是什么？哎，这也太胎哥了吧！
Thomas always listened to me. Never said I was odd, never tried to... I just want to think of him like that. That's on account of how I never met her. It's hard to miss what you never knew. I don't ponder it over much. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here. Well, I don't know about normal. Dad said she worked under some kind of special contract. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers.
"正负 OK。 居然没有直接变成他妈的敌对中的敌对，也真是够好笑的。Whoops.
Oh, I cut my own hair. But Conrad sells real good disinfectant.
I can't possibly cut anyone's hair in the dark. Oh? Am I in the company of a fellow doctor? Experience was my teacher. Experience and... So, you want to be an embalmer, brochures 1 through 5, courtesy of the Spacer's Choice Department of Career Development. You found Eugene's teeth? What? Where? How? The man was robbing his own graves without filing an invoice? This is a brazen violation of Spacer's Choice standard procedure. I suppose I should be grateful. You've saved me some trouble and no small amount of embarrassment. Eugene was not a suicide. He put a bullet in his brain, yes, but that's largely a technicality. I was the one who prepared Eugene's body for interment. I discovered symptoms of the plague on his corpse, and I discovered medicine in his pocket. Lots of medicine. Eugene overdosed on adrenatime, which is known to cause psychosis and paranoia as possible side effects. The paranoia drove him to take his own life. We can all thank our lucky stars that young Eugene was hopped up on medication and suffered its predictable side effect. I included it all in my official report. I'd like to think I saved Edgewater a great deal of money. We never could have paid the fines associated with a suicide.
Please, open the door.
Not a chance. The last thing we need is for everyone to get sick at a time like this.
Oh God, oh fuck.
Leave him in there. It's best for us all.
Well, fuck.
Why are all the lights off?
The power's out in the whole town. Pipe down.
Hello? Are you still there?
The power's out in the whole town. Pipe down.
Where are we headed?
Leave him in there. It's best for us all.
Well, fuck.
Power's out, but I can't just leave my goods unattended. Don't suppose you'd care to do business? Music to my ears. It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice. And before you ask, I'm all out of deluxe salt tuna. All I've got is gourmet. Go right ahead. What, you mean Edgewater? That's a peculiar question. This a test? Am I being tested right now? It's, fine and dandy. Couldn't be happier. Wouldn't want to spend my life working anywhere else. Prettiest little town on Terra 2.
Okay.
You are condescending to me, and I do not care for it. I am lucky to have my work, lucky to be alive. I don't get paid for banter. Was there something you needed? Go right ahead. Plague? I don't know anything about a plague. We are the very picture of hot-blooded physical vigor.
Pila.
You have got the wrong idea about me. I've got nothing that needs hiding. Some of us who get sick are liable to exaggerate the conditions of that sickness, but the fact is, if you work hard, you have got no cause to worry. Spend enough time in the Spacer's Choice family, and you will come to understand. Medical treatment is commensurate with our value to society. Spacer's Choice will dispense medicine for the indispensable worker. Natural selection at work.
对，我在切电力之前完全没有来理他。
Then the hand of medical science will not grace you with its touch, and you must recover on the virtue of your own grit. Listen, you mind if we talk about something else? Rambling about company policy gets me feeling all lightheaded.
Work fortifies the spirit.
If our town collapses, then it was meant to be.
那个天意就是我，不过你高兴就好。
You're safer inside the walls.
去跟中国人讲。
I put my whole life in that
你
cannon.
开始你们的表演。
You must be very proud.
Are we getting paid or not?
Any loss of productivity will be deducted from your pay.
What are we supposed to do now?
Exercise patience and contemplate the scriptures.
Is Reed hiding in there?
Mr. Thompson is aware of your concerns and remains committed to guiding Edgewater into prosperity.
Maybe Adelaide was right to leave.
Desertion is a criminal offense, punishable by hard labor. Oh, it's you. Reed told me I should be expecting you. He's inside. As a Spacer's Choice constable, I am authorized to grant you legal authority toward apprehending wanted criminals, even during times of unplanned crisis or unauthorized general chaos. Know how to carry yourself in a fight? I've got bounties out for these 3 marauders. Cross them off and bring me their fingers. Just 1 per marauder, please. I'll dust off the old fingerprint roller.
这一段也是很出戏。
As long as your questions fall within the acceptable margins of curiosity. If this is a setup to a joke, you should know I've never found anything amusing in my life. I don't serve Edgewater. Edgewater and the entire region of Emerald Vale serve Spacer's Choice. Flattery won't get you anywhere with me. The bureaucracy is a noble profession, but not all of us are gifted enough to serve in it. Spacer's Choice is a wholly owned subsidiary of Universal Defense Logistics, which occupies a seat on the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, also known as the Board. I must admit it bothers me that you don't already know this. His likeness decorates many a wanted poster. Do you have any relevant information about this individual? Shot you into space. You know, lying to a Spacer's Choice constable is a violation of company policy and punishable by a fine. It is for Spacer's Choice. Unfortunately, the arrest of Mr. Wells falls outside my authority. I enforce the company policy of Spacer's Choice in the region of Emerald Vale. Wells is wanted by the board. If you have information related to the location of Phineas V. Wells, you are required to submit that information to your nearest board authority. I represent Spacer's Choice. Spacer's Choice is a wholly owned subsidiary of Universal Defense Logistics. I'm myself a member of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Board. Also, I specialize in processing fingerprints, so unless you're carrying Wells's finger on you, there's not a lot I can do for you. Any information regarding outstanding bounties and wanted criminals should be directed to Mr. Udom Bedford. Mr. Bedford's office is located on the Groundbreaker. Halcyon's original colony ship, now repurposed into a space station. Mr. Udom Bedford represents the board's interest on the Groundbreaker. Something else I can do for you?
You picked a fine time to visit, stranger. I paid his burial fees, didn't I? Let the dead sleep. I don't understand. I found Eugene's body. I know the guy shot himself. Wait, are you telling me he was murdered? Like I didn't have enough to worry about. Now I've got to keep one eye peeled for a possible criminal. This is all a little too much for me to take in. But I guess if Eugene wasn't a suicide, our town won't have to pay a penalty.
You want to know what gets my bile churning? Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters, plague, marauders, desertion. Then you wandered in town. And I was so damn sure our luck was starting to turn. I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it? That power regulator is company property. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted with orders to fire on you.
这里要威吓30才有用啊。
Edgewater's dead. Our cannery's dead. Adelaide's deserters are never coming back. Spacer's Choice will shut us down before long. Some of us will die of illness by then. Some will move on. Some will starve. And as for me, I will tender my resignation, whereupon I shall be processed and then duly imprisoned for gross incompetence. Apologies won't give us our lives back, but for what it's worth, I am sorry too.
刚刚那是前行攻击，楼下的人完全没发现。哦，这里杀人之后，他妈的会降声望啊！迷惑。哦，都已经是前行攻击了，为什么打爆会降声望？我不懂。我的前行还没有高到可以从他们那边绕过去，然后不被发现。该不会是这里每多杀一个就会多降一次声望？哦 shit， 还真的是，而且还降蛮多的。我要不要试着拒杀？感觉这个任务有点困难。
Get ready.
No, President!
啊 ！NPC 倒了，笑死！Oof！ 哦，我这样子会把整个地方的都拉过来，好吧？这个有点不太妙啊。这个被发现就是直接全体仇恨。
On my way.
为什么？等一下，为什么刚刚被看见？救命！
Heading back. I'm on my way. Sure.
如果是 Fall 的话，这里应该就是刻一大堆东西，然后直接冲进去。这里比较麻烦的是，一被拉仇恨，他们就会一直追。没有隐形饺子。 我看一下我的威吓20啊！这里是在跟 Reed 讲话之前。那我看我先去升个级，把威吓点到30，不然这里实在是太难搞。
What are we supposed to do now?
身上又没有什么可以加威吓的东西。可是我才刚上7而已，这个需要的经验可能有点。 哎，哦，好像被发现了。
Here they come!
啊，中国版的斗阵俱乐部啊，干有够蠢的。你是土龙吧？干！
Here they come!
Oh shit!
Here we go! Nice this one. Nice hit. That's the last of them.
哦，他妈的，被融化的人会变成一堆灰，干！知道了。作者看到了，然后发言 ：Have you seen this shit? This is super wonderful. Everyone gets a happy ending in China. 救命！哇，变成一堆灰了。我是怎么拿到他的手指的？
Nicely done.
《战场的副格斯》出漫画版了，目前只有出第1话。啊哭啊！我的船上没有置物柜之类的地方吗？
Something you need?
所以漫画中的序章把谁射出去了？干！一开始就射妹妹，恶魔。
Spacer's choice. The music.
啊，第3根手指。哇哦！哎，干！他刚刚是躲过了吗？刚刚也太扯了吧！妈的，看他一个前倾是怎么躲的？
Got it. Heads down.
叫的也未免太他妈凄惨了一点。而且我刚刚好像打到他的胯下。
Cannery's dead. This is gonna throw a wrench into my actuarial tables. Somebody deserving.
I put my whole life in that camp.
Got my hands full at the moment. We pay by the finger. Gil Antrim. Real name, Guillaume. Duly processed by a freelancer on behalf of Spacer's Choice. I remember him. He was just a kid last I saw him. Shame. I'll just need your signature here, 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 and here. Got any more fingers for me? Mabel Burgess. Age 37. Right or left-handed? Let's just say no longer applicable. I remember Doc Burgess. Conducted my physical every fiscal quarter. Guess she couldn't keep her hands off her patient's medicine. Still one outstanding bounty. If you've got a finger, I've got the paperwork. Here we are. Bertie Cotton. Cause of death. Let's just say overwhelming physical trauma. Bert was the local preacher before Max took over. Always was quick to remind us that we all get what we deserve in the end. Well, that's all three. I must remember to requisition some more fingerprint to ink. Here's all the compensation you've earned, plus a bonus. You've done such a bang-up job hunting down our former workers that I thought it only proper to deputize you. Congratulations.
救命！乱七八糟的游戏进度。
Let me stop you there. It is official Spacer's Choice policy that all Marauders, regardless of prior affiliation to the Spacer's Choice brand, no longer qualify as our people.
太空人之选现在尊敬，我的大脑在心爆。
Ever since the company first settled the Veil. Life's good out here, but it ain't easy. Some folk can't keep pace with the demands of frontier life. Not everyone's cut out to work in Edgewater. Some turn deserter, some turn marauder. None of them get my sympathy.
你居然把我们整个镇子的电力全部转到一群流亡者身上，但是你帮我们杀了几个掠夺者，所以就尊敬你吧。
Uh-huh. I recall young Eugene. Good kid. Nice smile. Fussy about his health, though. Took a little too much adrenatime. That'll do a number on your brain matter. Says so right on the warning label. Violent psychosis is a well-documented and legally accounted for side effect of adrenatime.
你背很熟吗？
What's on your mind?
我离升级还有好大一段路要走哦。那母汤呢？声望太空人之选80-20，还最佳员工，救命！总不能叫我出去农，然后农到8等。刚刚经验值加一加，有个几千，居然才升到一半。先储存下线好了。